Welcome to Sips and Spirits. This is a podcast for those who love spirits of both the alcoholic and spectral kinds. I'm your host, one of your co-hosts, Chelsea.
And I'm your other co-host, Eric. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't break the glasses.
All right. All right. So what are you drinking in your glass today, babe?
I am drinking what is called the People's Margarita. It's a cocktail found in Terra Mana's website. Terra Mana is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's tequila. That's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
Nice. I am drinking a home version of the Shrunken Zombie Head. That's a Trader Sam's specialty. My favorite drink at Trader Sam's when we go. One of my favorite tiki drinks. What's it got in it? Let's see. We have the Appleton rum. I have some gold rum, some 151. I know the gold is supposed to be Bacardi 8-year, but I was using what we have. And then a zombie grog mix. So 3 different liquors, and I'm trying to think where the website is that I got this recipe from. I'll have to include it in the show notes. But yeah, I know if you do a Google search for Trader Sam's drinks at home, it will pull it up. But I'll be sure to include the link as well
In the description.
for both cocktails.
So, podcast. What are we? What kind of podcast are we? We are, as mentioned in introduction, a podcast for people who love spirits of both the alcoholic and the spectral kind. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to find as many possible spirits, as in the alcoholic kind, who have a spooky-like label. Something like, not necessarily like scary, but like has a spooky theme. For example, on the first episode, we're going to cover a 3-house gin. And it has a kushi, which is a, which is a fairy dog from the Highlands area.
Scotland Highlands.
The more than one Highlands?
I believe Ireland has. But
Copycats.
Don't quote me on that.
Copycats.
Quote.
Don't
quote me on that.
So we're going to find spirits of that nature, and then and you guys will get to learn about the distillery and whatnot. And then afterwards, you guys will hear some spooky stories that follow the theme of what the label or decoration or design is for the spirit, the name or whatever we come up with. Something related to the actual bottle.
Yep. So it'll be my job to do a little research on the liquor and find some fun facts that are about what we're drinking, whether it be the cocktail or the spirit. And then Eric will try and scare my spirits with a creepy story.
That's not hard.
It's really not, but it'll be fun to see our reaction. And you guys can either listen to us get our spirits on, or you can watch us get our spirits on. So I like that we'll have both a visual aspect and an audio aspect.
Yes.
Yeah. So ready to move on to about what our goals are? What do we want to accomplish with this podcast?
What do you want to accomplish with this podcast?
Well, so my biggest dream is that we get to a point where people will drink along with us as they listen to the episode. So we'll share whatever cocktail recipe we have ahead of time, and then people can collect their ingredients and then join us and drink along as we share our tasty notes on our delightful libations, and then get spooked along with us as we all get a little bit drunker.
A little bit drunker.
Into the witching hour.
What time is it?
It's just about that time.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
All my stars and garters.
Behind the scenes, you guys are going to hear, what is this, curtain close, because I don't want you guys to see our laptop hiding out there.
Our low equipment.
Whoops. That's for all the people who are watching. I keep hitting the mic.
Me too.
This is not working.
Yeah.
I liked it above, but then I felt like the wires were in. I couldn't see
Yeah,
you.
I agree. No, we'll
So
figure it out.
we'll get used to it.
Maybe we should put this forward up.
Yeah, you guys are gonna find. I think it was more forward last time.
Further.
We are we're learning as we go. This is technically like our third time behind the mics trying this all out. So
This is episode 0, version 2.
take 2.
We did an update
Yeah. So
as soon as we released.
and we're clearly still trying to get in sync.
Yes.
So that was our first goal, and then our second goal was kind of really building that community with people who love the spooky but love to drink, and just creating that like bar, like a loungy bar feeling of when you're all gathered around and some person at the end of the bar starts sharing a scary story or some bizarre encounter, and we all kind of chime in on that. So we really want to build that kind of a community. That's one of our big secondary goals, I think.
Yeah.
And then the third goal, which is like my personal big major project I want to do, is actually create original cocktails for Sips and Spirits with all the liquors that we end up drinking with. So I think that'll be fun, where it's something totally unique and original, and maybe at some point consolidating that
Consolidate.
into like a little, I don't know, digital book or something for
Something.
everyone to enjoy.
You can have copies of it, so you have to keep looking through the. Hey, what was this one?
Right?
You don't have to watch this all over again to find out what you're drinking. Cool. Groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So shall
What?
we talk about ourselves a little bit?
You want to talk about our drinks we're drinking? Like,
Oh, yeah. Wait. We did that already. Uh-huh.
but like, how's it taste?
Oh, I love it.
You've had that before. This is the
I've
first
had
time
it
I've had this
before.
drink.
I've had this before. But I feel like we always tweak this a little bit every time. There was one we just did the sour mix. We forgot the rest of the zombie frog. We forgot the zombie in the grog. We just had the sour mix part.
That's my bad.
So every time we make this, it's like a little bit more fine tuning.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fruit forward. There is a lot of liquor in here, but you don't really notice it until you get further into the drink. And I don't mean you're starting to taste it. I mean you start to feel it.
It's like, ooh, what's up? Party
Yeah.
on. You turn into a zombie.
So yeah, this is your first time making your cocktail. How is it?
I got two notes about it. Number one, I either A, need better pineapple juice,
Mm-hmm.
not like generic bread, or B, no pineapple juice. In the descriptions for the cocktails, like it's for taste. I'm like, maybe I should have better pineapple juice. But I didn't have any moment.
Right. We
So-
just use what we have in our kitchen.
The next time I make this, probably tomorrow, less pineapple. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I love pineapple.
Well-
but other side of that, it's pretty good.
And that's a note I do want to make, is when we do share cocktails, we're going to try really hard to pick out recipes that don't require you to restructure your entire liquor cabinet. If we don't find the specific ingredient, we'll either throw out like what you can do to substitute, or if we're like, just use whatever bourbon. That's fine. We don't want you guys to have to break the bank making one cocktail that you might not even like.
Exactly.
So
Or buy all this big old bottle for something you're never gonna drink again because you're like, oh, this tastes so weird. Yeah, and also along that lines, we're gonna try to make cocktails that are easy to make.
mhm.
That you don't have to like conjure up the demon to like make it and make like a whole summoning circle.
Sell your soul.
Tell yourself to they'll be like, hey, blood sacrifice, boom, cocktail. No, it'll be like something that's easy to make, so you don't have to like, alchemy this.
Yeah, basic cocktail. Oh my god.
Basic.
My my throat got stuck. That was not intentional.
And that word.
I wanted to say basic cocktail bar tools.
There we go.
So, we've been using a very simple shaker. Not
yeah.
because we don't want a fancy one, but we wanted to really show that you don't have to get super fancy to make these things.
We bought this shaker on one of our last outings as a couple when we had the kids babysit. I think it was our anniversary.
Yeah, it was for our anniversary.
And we're like, we bought this stuff to make cocktails, but we didn't bring our shaker. Let's buy a to-go shaker, have it in our travel kit, and now it's become like our favorite shaker.
Right, yeah, we're
So,
using it all the time.
We need to buy another one to put in our suitcase to have.
That's supposed to be the one that stays in the suitcase.
Yeah, well, we need another one because I like using it. Anyway, ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. Okay, well, I'm Chelsea. Hello,
Hi, Chelsea.
everyone.
You're pretty.
Oh, thank you. I know I am. And that's not the liquor talking. Oh my god. This is terrible. This is not what the direction I wanted this to go. So anyways.
The rating has to go up, by the way.
I hope not. I'm Chelsea. You may have actually seen me around as Cheers with Chelsea. I am Toast Along with Chelsea on most social media outlets. And if it's not Toast Along with Chelsea, it's Toast Along with C, because Chelsea is a little too long for some usernames. Yeah, I run a blog that's all about finding any excuse to toast to. I love to find a celebration to cheers to, whether it's just it was a busy Monday and I managed to make time to pour myself a glass of wine. That's something worth cheersing for.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm most active on my Instagram.
That's an understatement.
How is that an understatement? Oh, my mind went back to what I got stuck on when I threw out words that were not appropriate and not what I meant to say. I was going to say, I'm just super confident.
Confident.
Yes. Everybody has their off days. I think that's a given, but overall, I'm pretty comfortable in my skin, and it's not hard for me to find beauty in everything, and I love to share it wherever I can. So I'm just very outgoing, and I've discovered that I just have a very magnetic personality, which I love, because even though I don't mind being off on my own, I do love hanging out with people too. So yeah, if you want to hang out with me more, come say hi.
Hi.
On my on any of my social media accounts.
Oh, I have to like slide into your DMs to talk to you?
No, you can just leave a comment on any of them. Okay. You don't have to get that personal.
I'm gonna start commenting your stuff so we can talk more.
I don't think you need to worry about that. So we now know plenty about me and how well I can articulate my words. So
articulation.
Let's know a little bit about the male half of this podcast. Tell me about Eric.
Tell me about Eric. So sorry about that. I like to crack my ass, apparently.
Right into the mic.
Why into the mic? This one's so pretty. I liked it. I know some people like it.
Well, we might have to edit that.
Who am I? I'm Eric. Hi.
Hey, handsome.
A few things about me. I do not have I have social media. I'm not super active on it. I'll post your things in there. Mostly about exercise or my children. Our children. Not mine. They're not just mine, they're ours.
Ours.
Our children. Our little Monster and Boo.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy playing video games. I used to do it a lot more when I was a kid. And then I grew up and life got in the way.
You had kids.
Even before that. Before that, I met you. I'm just kidding. and so I've been slowly trying to get back into it, and whatnot. And one of the downsides is that I find games with intriguing stories, and I can't play them unless you're there to watch the story, and then to continue on, because you want to know, and it's cool, and I like that we can do that together.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So I'm definitely not a gamer, but I do love watching you play video games.
Yeah, kind of thing. And whatnot. I'm not like I'm not gonna say I'm a pro gamer. I'm not like amazing at it, but I enjoy it. Like I'll die 300 times and still keep going, kind of thing. Uh,
Leisure gamer.
leisure gaming. Yeah. Another thing about me, I like to work with my hands. Um, woodwork is one of my lovely abilities. Camera over there. We put that up this morning. I didn't do much work for it, but you know, I like to work with my hands. I want to get into welding. That's a skill that I want to add to my repertoire and whatnot. But one of the main things about me is I really, really like working out. And I discovered working out. If you go back in time, long, long time ago, before dinosaurs roamed the earth, you know, there was me, and I discovered working. I discovered that I enjoyed exercise. I always been an active kid. Always like to run around and I remember as a kid, I used to, like play bike races with my neighbors and whatnot. And and wasn't and in high school I started playing sports. I really enjoyed that. College I tried it for a little bit, and then I stopped for a while. And after college, I started working out again. I tried to do it in college, but something wasn't clicking right. And then I started to, and then I just fell in love with it. I used to be very active with it almost every day. You can ask her. I used to come home, drop my bag off, peace out,
Yeah.
go work out.
I feel like when we met, you started to get more active again, with just physical activities
Yeah.
and stuff. Like right before, I want to say.
hmm and my favorite type of workout is definitely weightlifting. The bigger the weights, the better.
Mhm.
But I do like being outdoors. Like I'm not the best runner or hiker anymore, but I still will do it. I'll be winded and complaining the whole way.
You've completed a couple Spartan races.
Oh, I do love Spartan races. And I want to move up because I found rain does tough mudder. But anyway, I do have a few goals for myself when it comes to working out. I would like to one day. Ooh, I would like to one day compete in World's Strongest Man. You know, I don't have to like win. I just want to be able to like get on that stage one day. I would like to one day be able to do an Atlas hold. Not Atlas, Herculean hold. There we go. Wrong person. Wrong strong Greek person. Herculean hold. Like the whole like pillar thing. Like I've seen a lot of people start doing that right now, like in competitions.
like
Like the
like he
pillars,
does
the
in
pillars falling,
the Disney Hercules
and like in
when he
all of them.
catches the.
And that one, and also in the Rockies.
I don't remember in
In the
Hercules him
Rockies,
doing it,
he's he's chained up and he's like, I am Hercules.
but like I had a better visual with the Atlas hold,
Okay,
like
Atlas
holding the
world.
world
Uh,
on.
so I want to do those things, and I would like to compete in the Highland Games. But
I would love for you to do that.
to bring it back to the spooky,
Ooh.
I would like to be strong enough one
Oh.
day.
I love this.
Think Paranormal Activity. You know, you're laying in bed and demon pulls up your covers and then pulls your leg and starts pulling you down the hallway. Well, I want to be the person where he pulls me down the hallway. I clap my legs against the door frame, grab with my hands, and pull demon back. That's like, hey, you want to fight? Fight back.
Oh my
Kind of
god.
thing. Of course, depends on what you believe in, if it's real or not, if that will happen. But,
In a hypothetical
in a hypothetical
situation.
situation, how strong I want to be. Kind of thing. Um,
Good luck, babe.
But yeah, that's, a little bit about me.
Woo!
A little
All
bit.
right. So you guys know now a little bit about us as individuals. Let's talk a little bit about our
Before we go there,
oh
we didn't talk about spirits.
spirits. Oh yeah, I totally forgot, and it's even right here in my notes. So we wanted to share what our favorite spirits are, and that's on both ends of the spectrum of this show's content. So our favorite spirit liquors and our favorite spiritual creatures.
Creatures. Yes, no. I drink a lot faster than she does.
Oh yeah, he drinks super fast, but I'm actually getting through this pretty well. And we, honey, pose for the camera. Look, we made a backup because we were like, I don't know if our drink's gonna last through the whole episode.
Yeah, we didn't make a double. We made a double, but not a double in the double.
We didn't want to have to
Let's see how this is gonna work.
make the one drink last because we know you're gonna love listening to us as we get more and more intoxicated. Oh, that made me nervous.
I dropped some. A little. I gotta pip it down. We'll get that one later.
It's just liquid.
I got paper right here. Dry it up.
We've got a nice table, though.
Okay.
It's varnished,
I
so
should
we
have
don't
gone
have to worry
this
about it.
way.
Oh my goodness. I'm attacking the mic.
Learning. I should have gone this way. Or I should have gone that way.
Mm,
Use the bar, Eric.
yeah.
Anyway, spirits.
Spirits. So it's ladies first. He's such a gentleman.
Always and forever. It's really weird because we'll go to a restaurant and we'll order an appetizer. And unless it's something that I know that I'm only going to eat, like something spicy right now. But if it's something else, I'll wait until she like gets herself ready to eat it. And whatnot. Like I can think of like pot stickers. And we're like, okay, I want a pot sticker, but I gotta wait. So I'm gonna grab a pot sticker. I put it in the sauce so she likes them saucy.
You don't have to wait
And
for
then I
me.
just wait and like I was like, I'm just there waiting, like food's in front of us. But anyway, spirits. Back to spirits.
Spirits. So, what do I do first? What do you guys want to hear first? My favorite
Do
liquor?
that one
or...
and then do cookie one.
So, my favorite spirits would have to be gin, I think, definitely. I've always been a martini gal from very early on. Wine and martinis.
I didn't think, what was the first thing I saw you drink?
Well, so when we went to that bar in Fremont
Oh yeah,
to see Aki,
you had
I had my very first
gin martini.
gin martini, and it was like a dive bar, guys. So not a high quality martini, but I felt like the classiest lady in the room with my little gin martini. Because my very first cocktail, I want to say, because I had wine for quite a long time before I actually ventured into cocktails and spirits. My first cocktail was a lemon drop, and I think it was a vodka lemon drop.
Vodka.
Because we were experimenting a lot with UV vodka.
Oh, the good old days.
We have now outgrown that.
No, but I was thinking like when, like I was just like, what was the first cocktail I saw you drink?
Well, that was probably, you kind of got to see me drinking my first cocktails because all my friends, because I've always been the oldest of my friends, and I don't mean like years older, but just my birthday is in the earlier half of the year, and everyone else had like late summer fall birthdays.
You're an old lady
with my friends, so I was like the mother hen of the group, and so I'd have all these things I was able to do but nobody else was. Which is really fun, let me tell you.
Very fun. Always fun. So gin and wine.
Gin, wine, and like I have to throw rum in there, but I have to say like rum drinks.
Rum drinks.
Although I do have a special place for agricole rums, thanks to the lovely people at Forbidden Island. And I feel so sad I can't remember our waitress's name.
Jessica? Jamie?
No, it was Yoko, I think. Not Yoko. Yoko?
Yoko, I think you're right.
I think it was Kyoko, and then Brian, who introduced me to the agricole rums. And fun fact, Brian used to be a Trader Sam's bartender, which was like the main reason for us going to Forbidden Island.
Yep.
I was like, honey,
we gotta go.
We gotta go. Because at the time we had let our annual pass roll over at that point.
Yep. Gets expensive.
So I was like, it'll be like Trader Sam's away from Trader Sam's.
I told you got two choices. You can choose wine or this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose wine instead.
Yeah. It was a tough call. It was so tough. But so
okay.
Agricole rums, I know they're not for everyone. Apparently not everybody likes them. You apparently have to have a very specific kind of palate to enjoy them.
I don't like them.
So a tea punch, ooh, yeah, set me up with that by the pool all day. So good.
You mean
and a tea punch is essentially like a rum martini in the fact that there's only like in a tea punch, it's just sugar, I think a little bit of lime juice, and then the agricole rum.
I'm gonna sprinkle something in here before you go to your spooky monster.
Why?
What is your favorite gin?
My favorite gin? I don't know, because I'm still discovering them. I feel like I've slowly started branching. I enjoy gin drinks, and I'm not against drinking gin excuse me, straight up. Uh, but what?
Get up that shot we did these.
Oh yeah, we tried a Navy strength gin. We did a shot of it, and I can't say I did a shot of it. I did a sip of it.
We did like half a
And
shot.
oh my gosh, guys, that gin like breathed and then
It
like
burns for
it
hours.
grew. It grew into your
Anyway,
chest.
sidetracking. Sorry. What's your favorite gin? Do you have a favorite gin?
I can't say I have one. I have really enjoyed making the Lunar Gin drinks, which is a Hendrix brand.
Mendrix.
We'll save that story for another time. So if you guys want to hear that story, you're going to have to stick around to hear the Schmendrix story. But tonight, I don't feel like getting into it.
Okay.
So, but I specifically the Lunar Gin, because I haven't tried the other ones.
I don't
But
think you made a martini out of that. I guess.
Yeah, I did make one. Mhm.
Okay.
And I have tried, I really enjoyed the Empress Gin.
Okay.
But I think part of my enjoyment of that is just it's a cool color. So the Empress Gin is like this indigo colored gin. It looks almost purple. It's really cool and it makes some pretty neat cocktails. Um, and the martini is not too bad either. But okay, I have my favorite gin is the Bogart's gin, and that's what he was looking for.
I was like,
That gin,
I know what it is.
oh my god, guys. You can drink
That's
it
a really good
straight.
gin.
It's delightful if you can find it, and we've only seen it at Total Wine, but mwah, so good.
Is Total Wine like statewide or just California?
It's nationwide, yeah. I feel like just with some of the cocktails I've shared on my Instagram, when I've said you can find it at Bevmore, you can find it at Total Wine, majority of people are like, "Oh, I have a Total Wine near me."
I wish we had one closer.
I know. We happen to live where we have
3 Bevs.
we're surrounded by Bevmos, but we have to drive 45 minutes to get to a Total Wine.
Oh, I just opened one.
Yeah, we have to like make when we like go visit my mother-in-law or we go to the Bay Area, we have to like plan either on the way to where we're going or on the way back, stopping by Total Wine to get our fix because especially out here where we live, the Bevmos, they're just kind of catering to more simple tastes. And we love to experiment with cocktails and discovering new liquors and stuff. So they don't always have what we're looking for. But Total Wine almost always does. So, yeah. So there we go. Bogart's my favorite gin.
Your favorite spooky gin spirit. Spooky gin.
I
Favorite spooky spirit.
see, we are on the quest to find a good spooky spirit.
No, I mean.
Oh.
That kind of spirit.
Now the supernatural being or creature. What's my favorite? Got it. I mean, I love them all. They're all so interesting and fascinating, but I have a very big soft spot for the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Oh. I was gonna say, what's his neck?
Oh, the creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know. He would be like considered like what, a fish person or a gill man person? But
Fresno.
the Fresno Nightcrawler, and what I just found the show that it was on. I'll have to share it in another episode. But
I recently found a story about like the birth of the Fresno Nightcrawler.
The birth
or something like that.
Oh, like the origins
like OG story, like a campfire story of it.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm gonna save this one for later.
It's fascinating and like it's really lame, and I try not to be suckered into it because I want to believe.
I want to believe.
And I'm very leery about like engaging anything, so you won't find me ghost hunting, at least not anytime soon.
Not before you have like 2 zombies.
Yeah, you got to get me pretty liquored up.
Brewery.
But the whole origins of the Fresno Nightcrawler is based off of somebody's security camera going off and catching this like bizarre creature walking across our lawn, and it's so fascinating.
Not our lawn, their lawn.
I said their lawn.
Oh, I heard our lawn.
Oh.
Those our lawn. We will have completely different.
Oh my
episode.
god, I would be like, just like that's just gonna be on loop in the background. We're getting a little mini screen to play that over and over and over. Like that's just all you're gonna see.
Yeah.
But it's just so cute, and I don't know. It's different and it's so mysterious and unknown. There's really no additional lore other than just them having that video footage. So I find it really fascinating.
Groovy.
Yeah. So how about you?
What
Now
about
that
me?
I've talked
You talk
for
quite a bit of time.
hours and hours.
What is my favorite spirits? Before I say my favorite spirits, I'd like to add a little sprinkle more about me. I do one thing that I do enjoy to do, and I gotta get close to my mic. And one thing I'm starting to enjoy more to do, and I've started to enjoy not because of you, but I started to enjoy it with you. Not with you, but when we started dating, is I do enjoy smoking cigars, and I don't know what got me to it. I just one day it's like, hey, you know what? I want to smoke a cigar, and it just went downhill from there. They're expensive, but anyway, um, I like the expensive ones anyway. One of my favorite spirits. I have three favorite spirits. Whiskey slash Scotch. Depends where you're from, what they're called, but whiskey, Scotch. I do enjoy a lot. Tequila, of course. I can't say no to that. And rum. I like rum. Following what you said about Forbidden Island, thanks to Forbidden Island, I've been able to try so many different rums. I miss them so much. I want to go back sometime and continue my rum tasting.
Your kill devil list?
My kill double list, but we gotta see what we do because as mentioned earlier, we do have little ones.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little harder to go to a bar.
Well, and before it was easier because I worked practically down the street from Forbidden Island.
we live like 15 minutes away, and now we live further
Yeah.
away. So I still do that. Alongside that, my favorite whiskeys, scotches are Highland Park, for sure. I've really been enjoying those, and I like the whole Viking aspect of it, the Norse aspect of it. It's really cool. My favorite tequila has to be a tequila that I cannot find in the United States. It's very, very sad.
Of course.
But it's called El Viejo Luis. It's a tequila that my dad randomly gave it to me, like, hey, I found this tequila. The guy says it's really good. Tell me what you think. And I had it, I was like, this is amazing. Have you ever had this? Like, nope. I was like, this is amazing. Fun story.
I was gonna say I have a story for that to follow up, but if yours is the same, I can't
When
wait.
we started dating, I found out that Chelsea had never had tequila, at least straight up tequila. You had margaritas.
I was very early into my
Very early into your
drinking habits, and as I mentioned, all my friends were younger.
All my friends were younger,
and then not really into drinking, which was hard to have friends.
You didn't have the whole college shot experience, so you never had much thing. So I had her try first my favorite tequila, which is tagline, "Taste of Memories." Now, is it memories that you're forgotten and you're like, now I remember because I'm drinking? But this tequila, it's amazing. Goes down like water.
Some very fun nights with that tequila.
Some very good, fun, enjoyment nights kind of thing.
And I mean with friends.
I've had friends who tell me I don't like tequila because of bad experiences. And I go just please give it a shot. Just not a shot, but just give it a sip. And they're like, this is some tequila. You lied to me. Like, no, this is tequila. Look at the bottle. It's this tequila. I'm animated.
You are.
Yeah.
You got it. There you go.
There. So I had her try that. So she's up here on tequila. She's like, oh man, tequila's great. I can drink this all the time. And then she went to a coworker's
their retirement party.
And they had Jose Cuervo.
It's my boss.
And I go, hey, Chelsea, they're taking shots of Jose Cuervo. Go take a shot of Jose Cuervo. And she's like, why? Because I want you to know what the range is of tequila.
It's terrible, guys. It was the worst.
And then she took a shot, and before, without coughing or anything, she took a shot. She turned at me and glared, like, "Why would you make me do this?" It was I was like, "Yes."
I think I did very well.
She did very well, kind of thing.
But man, that was nasty.
1800, definitely a good tequila. Decent price, decent taste. And then I discovered this recently, Terra Mana. Now, I am normally a añejo reposado tequila drinker. But Terra Mana Blanco, Amazing.
It is.
Amazing.
It's like a ready-made margarita.
Yeah, you can just drink that in the rocks and you're good. I should just done that. It's like 4 ounces of that, and I'm like, you guys see me pass out.
It
And
gets really fun. It's hard to get him drunk, but when you do, he's really entertaining.
depends who you ask, but yes, I am. That's all I've been told. And lastly, this is gonna be homage to our bartender friend Brian.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite rum, Smith and Cross.
Smith and Cross.
Smith and Cross.
Smith and Cross.
It's a great light.
I'm sure everyone's like, what on
What's going on? What kind of cult did I just join? It's great. It's not like rum is not just Captain Morgan, Kraken, Senator Jerry. There is a whole world of rum that I discovered.
Mm-hmm.
And we can go into that sometime later. But
Thank you, Kill Devil List.
Mike, thank you, Kill Devil List. Thank you for being on for that.
Yeah.
But Smith and Cross is definitely a very enjoyable. Like, it's not a mixing rum. You can mix it if you want to. You can do what you want with it. But I definitely enjoy sipping it. Most of the spirits I like to drink are spirits that I drink straight up. Neat. Some people say you have to do whiskey and scotch in the rocks. Those people they have weird taste buds. I don't like to water down my liquor, but that's just me.
Well, that's just a personal preference.
Personal preference. But yeah, and that's my favorite drinking spirits. My favorite spooky spirits have to be hands down, easily werewolves.
Hands down, werewolves. No hesitation.
I love were creatures. Werewolves the best, and every time they're portrayed, they're like some buff like animal. I'm like yeah, and then like their human forms like buff dudes. I'm like yeah, he's like scraggly.
Well, you're practically a werewolf self, so they're relatable.
Yeah, so that's me. That's my likes. And now let's go on to next topic.
I'm like, I just have to admit right now, this is perfect timing. It's getting harder to find my straw.
You have a straw? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To get through the ice.
Ice.
That was melting immediately.
Immediately.
Usually we have better crushed ice, but like our ice maker was not producing ice, so we had to improvise.
I was thinking, like, you want me to just crush it myself? Just grab a cup of melon.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Okay, so we're moving on to spooky passions.
Wait.
How did we get into this? Oh, what did I miss? Oh, you distracted me. Oh my gosh, this is going on. I hope you guys aren't bored, like hearing about us mush about ourselves, but this is probably, unless we share a little story here and there, probably as in-depth as you're going to get during episodes about us. Unless you guys really want us to return with an episode like this.
Yeah,
maybe like a preseason recap every time.
Well,
not a recap, but you get what I'm saying. Like as a special bonus episode.
Q&A.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Anyway, we are married.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married for 7
years.
I was like, why do I keep thinking 10? Well, we've been together.
We've been together
for
11 years. Mm-hmm. It'll be 12 in October.
12 in October.
Yep.
No, December.
Yeah. No, last year was 11.
But December we got together.
December we started dating, but we've known each other for 11 years.
Yeah. Kind of thing. I was like, wait a minute.
we met at a Yowie convention.
Yowie convention?
And I feel like you just have to look that up if you don't know what it is. Essentially, guys, it's a gay porn convention.
Yep.
A Japanese gay porn convention.
Yeah. Anyway, that's where I met. We're married 7 years. We have 2 lovely monsters and Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Monster and Boo.
Our little monster and our little Boo.
They're fantastic things. Hopefully, at least so far, when we've been recording, they've been sleeping. That's been awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, we record these episodes after we put them to bed.
Yeah. Because
they're little angels.
Sometimes. No, but
sometimes they live up to their name.
No, they're chilling. They do what they do. And I think our lives have been turned upside down because of them. But not in a bad way.
No, in a wonderful, magical way.
Think,
for 3 years.
It not only have taught us, not only have they taught us so much about how to be parents, but also about ourselves, our patience, how far we can go,
our limits,
and whatnot, and and just like taking care of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's no longer just I'm gonna go out to get myself a burger kind of thing. Well, I got to figure out, okay, do I need to go out and get the kids some food? Do I need to go? Do they need to come with me? Do they need to keep them by themselves? So like, I can't just like, as soon as I'm done here, drive up to like Jack in the Box and go through a drive-through.
Your world is just so changed, and like,
This is not a complaint.
especially no, especially if you want to be a parent, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just so different, and you can't prepare for it, no matter how many stories or tales or whatever recollections from other people you hear. You are never going to be prepared for it. But we love every moment of it.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad.
And
And there's an equal amount of the bad. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They're
don't
lying or they're
don't
hiding it.
believe Instagram or Facebook or whatever TikToks that have the perfect family.
Oh my gosh, guys, let me tell you, like, I struggle as a spooky mom who wants to also do like her own blog and her own thing.
Mom Byra.
I am the mom Vira. I don't get how other people are like pulling it off so flawlessly. There's like, they either have a lot more help than they're letting on, or I don't know, but it's a lot of work and it's totally rewarding, especially if you were a person who came into this wanting to be a parent. But man, Instagram lies so hard.
I think it's based on perspective because like you can look at somebody and then you're like, oh my god, how are they able to put like constant pictures like out all the time of like their cute little families, the cute little office, and this and that with the kids, and then somebody's gonna look at yours and be like, oh my god, how did they do like all that cool stuff for their birth kids decoration, and how did they have the time for that and whatnot? It's all perspective and what
Right. Well, and it's like with anything that you have a passion for,
yeah,
right?
kind of thing.
You make the time for whatever it is you want to pull off or you want to accomplish. Now, it might not happen on the timeline you were expecting, but you make it happen.
Not just with parenthood. One thing that I think is very important, just life lesson or life thing to do is you can admire people's lives, but don't compare your lives to theirs
Mm-hmm.
because
Your situation's just
your
not going
cards
to
are not the
align
same
with
cards.
theirs.
Kind of thing. You're playing Uno, they're playing Cat's Great. Oh, not Cat's Great. Run.
Cards Against Humanity.
They're playing Cards Against Humanity. Sure, let's go with that. Like it's just a completely different deck of cards. Completely different life. It could be mimicking. You can both be born at the same time. You can both come to the same school. You both, did everything the same. Answer the same questions on every test, but
it's still going to be different.
You're still working with different cards.
Thank you for joining us for our TED Talk.
Our TED Talk.
So anyways, I did want to share with our married life. We got married in a very fun, special place.
That was it?
No. He's laughing because of the face I made. Like, why did you throw out San Jose? We lived around the Bay Area, so San Jose is like one of the major metropolitan areas. It's not the only metropolitan area in the Bay Area. There's two big ones.
3 airports out there. Oakland have an airport?
Oh yeah, and there's Oakland. I totally forgot about Oakland. So there's like 3 major metropolitan areas in the Bay Area. Like, you think Bay Area, it's like, okay, is it Oakland Bay Area, San Jose Bay Area, or San Francisco Bay Area? They're all different, but they're all Bay Area.
Depends, because I've talked to people before who like even stay as far as Sacramento's a Bay Area, and I'm like,
that's Central
water,
Valley,
but it's just because like they just draw this big old map of it.
Right. Well, in California, it's so huge,
big,
like flipping huge.
We're from California, guys.
Yeah,
and we do not surf.
No, we're not really near any water.
We don't surf. We don't know any celebrities. Wait, that's a lie. We know some celebrities. We've met celebrities.
I think I know a lot of spooky celebrities.
And we ran into celebrities in the streets before. But yes, we live in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
We're in NorCal.
We got married in a very special place.
Yes. Which is not Northern California.
Nope.
It's not anywhere near San Jose. We got married in Disneyland.
Well, we got married at Disneyland Hotel, but we got married by the Disney company.
I always say we got married in the Disneyland Resort.
There we go.
That encompasses everything.
Mm-hmm. That was so
And
fun.
our wedding pictures do have us in Disneyland
I think we should do
park.
an extra episode just talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to talk about that. You guys send in your questions, and I will be all over that.
It was definitely an experience.
It was magical, and I feel like shout out to our photography team. They were photography video team were amazing, and totally sold the experience.
Oh yes,
because there were even things that we were like, I don't know if we want to do that, and they were like, how can you not do that? You guys are doing a Disneyland wedding. Don't miss out on this. And we're like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And we're so glad we did. Those are like those things that our photographer video team were like, do. We're so glad we're like, we wouldn't have done it without that. First of all, having the team, Schweitzer Film.
Let's take note of talking about our love story.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Let's do like an extra just because there's like so much things that we can talk about.
Oh, yeah, so many. So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. Like, leave a review or comment on our YouTube video here.
And like, hey, what do you guys want to know?
Or even on Instagram and start leaving those questions. And we would love to dish all the fun on that.
We're not a perfect couple, but we've been together for 7 years. And we can still stand each other to start a podcast.
Well, and I feel like with that whole jumping back to my thing, and I don't mean to make it about me, I really don't, because this is Eric's whole idea. I have to give him the credit for coming up with this idea. But it's that we really both resonate with that idea I want to capture in my blog of just turning every moment into a celebration, right?
Celebration.
And we, I think, really master having fun, just enjoying every moment. And for us, that's the key to our continued marital life.
I mean, everybody
is that we have our ups and downs.
Yeah.
But we just, when we're in the moment of something, we embrace it 1,000%.
You know, like the whole like find the beauty in the small things, find like the happiness in small things. You know, cliche is, you know, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like it's helped us, you know, through a lot of down times we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing, you know, just like, hey, you know, it's a bummer right now. Things are not going to air. Like everything's going wrong. But you know what? At least we had this one thing, you know, kind of thing, and you know we can work on that kind of thing, and whatnot.
Yeah. So we should try to keep it going.
Keep it going. We're so close.
We're really chatty in this episode.
We are.
And I have to say, I don't think all our episodes are going to be this length.
No.
We've already done
like
one.
I said, this is version 2 of this episode.
This is take 2. And I'm happy we did it.
Yeah.
But like we've also done our first take of what our normal format will be, because this isn't going to be our normal format.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be half as long as this.
A quarter as long as this.
Let's put it that way. So should we keep going, love?
This could be a Snyder cut version of our podcast.
I like that. It's a Snyder cut version of our intro.
I'm sorry, I can't afford Snyder.
Well, so we have to be our own Zack Snyder. I almost said Jack Snyder, and that's not right. Okay, so Spooky Passions. Where did it originate? For me, family has... Okay, specifically my mother has always like celebrated Halloween and talked about the fun spooky stuff. Like I learned about Samhain from a very young age. I've always known about Samhain, or some people know it as Samhain. Just learning about that history and just Halloween and spooky spirits and things like that. Just growing up with it. So
it's something that I learned in the something that I knew about. I never knew what it was called, but I knew it existed. Mm-hmm. And then I learned more specifically what it was recently because
you're married to me.
Because I'm married to you. And it just baffles me that people are like, wait, Halloween didn't just start like a Hallmark? I'm like, no. It wasn't some like press, like, you know.
It wasn't started by the candy company.
It wasn't like, you know, like some like big wigs and like some meeting was like, hey, let's make a holiday where people dress up like costume and can sell candy for. I was like, that was great. I was like, no, there was stuff to it, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and I love that, and that's why I'm doing all the like research history end of the podcast because that's totally my thing. I love learning about that stuff. And uh yeah, I don't know. I grew up with all these like interesting experiences and stuff or hearing about people's experiences and I want to say like the earliest like childhood experience to a horror movie was Army of Darkness. And then closely following that, Young Frankenstein, which I know that's not technically horror, but I did have in my um what's that middle school years a big affiliation fascination with horror movies. And then about mid high school career, I had an encounter with a specific movie that like I still have not finished to this day. And I got a little scared off and then I started dating Eric.
Oh,
And
that close.
no, it wasn't that close. So I want to say I was probably 17 when I watched The Exorcist, which is the movie. And 16 or 17 when I first watched it, which I didn't even finish it. I was like scared out of my mind. I woke up my parents, they fell asleep watching it, which was terrible. Yeah, she came down the stairs and I was like, I'm out. This needs to be turned off now. And I couldn't go back to another scary movie after that. Because before that, like I'd seen like Nightmare on Elm Street and The Ring and all these different scary movies. And it wasn't until Eric came into my life that I started braving watching horror movies again. And I think like one of the first ones we watched was Paranormal Activity. It does help having a burly person to cuddle into when you're really scared.
I'll fight that girl. Come down the stairs, I'll punt her.
Oh my god. But yeah, so it took me a while to get back into it because like what I was 22.
2011? 2010?
I don't. Well, we met in 2009, but I don't even think we started watching horror movies like early on. It took you quite a while to coax me back into it.
I think at first I tricked you into watching chick flicks.
Mm-hmm. He was like, "Oh, I love chick flicks," and I was like, "I am not a chick flick girl."
That was a pickup line.
I was like, "No, I'm not interested." Yeah, I was not his normal experience.
You were not my target audience.
But I won because I have this. But yeah, and slowly, more and more, it rekindled, and now we listen to a spooky podcast every week and try to find new spooky movies to really scare the pants off of us, but mainly me.
And unfortunately for you,
for me,
we could only watch them at nighttime.
I know.
So it's like we watch these movies where it's like all dark and it's like hearing noises everywhere. What's going on?
Well, we got lucky with the latest Annabelle. Got to watch it during the daytime, which I was so thankful for.
Yeah, I think we watched it at nighttime would have been less scarier.
Yeah, if we had watched it at nighttime, it totally, even just thinking about it's giving me goosebumps. Can we stop talking about it?
Yes. There go my spooky
okay,
origins.
so yeah, what are your spooky origins? Like, where did your interest for the spooky and scary come in?
So my earliest memory of Halloween was a time we went trick-or-treating and one of my neighbors got bit by a dog. Their hand got bit by a dog because they put their hand inside a person's fence and the dog bit them. In Mexico, when you have dogs, they're not like cute, cuddle little things, but most of them, what are cats staring at? It's like the bed looks weird.
I'm more worried she's gonna like, she's a little old. I'm worried about having an accident on the bed. Yeah, okay. That was the pose. He's like, she's looking at something. I'm like, she's gonna go bathroom.
In Mexico, when you have a dog, it's mostly like just for a guard in your house. So anybody who's you don't want to be in your house, they're there to attack, regardless of whether you're threatening or not. Regardless if you're the mailman showing up every day or every week or whatever, it's still gonna bark at you. And even if you live in that house, some dogs are like, I know this guy because he gives me food. I don't care about you. So after that, we started doing Halloween parties at our neighborhood, just so we don't have to worry about that and whatnot. Fast forward to when I moved to the United States. Um, Regular trick or treating as a kid. I don't have like much memories of that,
Where's your spooky origins? That's
kind
what
of
we
thing.
want to know.
And so I think the first time, well, no, because in I have memories of me in Mexico and me hanging out with my friends, and we used to tell like spooky stories,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Like we just like like think about different spooky stories and come like later at night and be like, hey, let's scare each other, kind of like a whole campfire story kind of thing. Like, hey, did you hear the story about the kid who cried wolf or whatever, or like the kid who bled from their eyes kind of thing, and whatnot. And so it was kind of like and one of those things, and being, how will I say it? I don't want to say like macho,
Mm-hmm.
but like the confident person that I was.
Right. I think that's a good way to explain it.
Like it's like I'm not gonna be like and be like, oh, if you're not like big strong man, you're not a man kind of thing. But like I've always been a very confident in person in myself and whatnot. And so whenever spooky stories came out and people were just scared, I was kind of like, well, I wasn't like too scared of them kind of thing. Like sometimes I was, depends on your storytelling. So I guess you can say I started as early as that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Fast forward to my older years. I love scary movies. I love scary stories mostly because the girls I was with were scared of scary movies, and they were like, "Oh, protect me," and I'm like,
That's me.
and so now we watch scary movies. And I'm like, "Here, come here, I'll protect you."
Yeah, half the time I'm just burrowed in his
It's like,
his
don't watch,
pectorals.
don't watch. Kind of thing. But
I know it's coming.
in regards to my first scary movie that I watched, I think Child's Play was the first scary movie that I watched. I remember as a kid, and I was watching. I was like,
I still haven't seen that.
this is weird. This is like a doll. Like, can I just like break the doll?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know like if there's like
Right, what the context
like
is.
if there's like, I know there's a doll and there's a guy who like is running from the cops, like magically gets into the doll. In case you have never seen it, I'm spoiling the whole movie to you. And like something happens.
Not if you watch the recent Chucky.
Yeah.
I've seen the recent ones. I haven't seen the original.
And so it's like I don't remember much people outside of this, but I think. But then there's that, and then I watched a lot of scary movies kind of thing. They're fun. They're gimmicky.
Sharknado.
Shark. I was thinking Gingerbread Man.
Oh well, yeah, same vein.
But and we're still, yeah, that's my spooky origins. Spooky.
All right. So, do we want to share our personal experience?
I want to share
Or
one of
do
them.
we want to save it for another time?
I want to share one.
You want to share one?
Yeah, I was a different one from last time.
Okay.
From
From take one, he's talking
I
about.
never want to take one, but I'll sure take one again later because that's a cool one to have.
Uh-huh. Well, and I totally failed the first time because it wasn't any of the things I shared were not my personal experience.
Kind of thing. So I'm gonna go back to the whole thing about me telling scary stories as a kid. I don't know if it's an actual scary story that like it's like known around Mexico or not, but as kids we were telling a story about I forget the story itself, but the main topic of it is that the whole idea of hearing a horse-drawn carriage. Okay, so we were. I remember we were in a friend's house. The blinds were closed. We're telling scary stories because we wanted to be dark. So I said the stories like but if you hear a horse-drawn carriage, don't look out the window, because if you do, somebody is gonna like die kind of thing. And as soon as that story stopped, we all heard a horse-drawn carriage.
Stop it! No.
And the one thing they said is don't look out the window for it because somebody close to you is gonna die. And me being a dumb, confident kid is like, I don't think it's real. I opened the windows, nothing.
No.
And we were like, we all heard that. We all heard that.
Eric, no. Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just got goosebumps because like, okay, my background, I'm like 101 things. Okay, that's my genetic makeup.
Just not Dalmatians.
Um, But one of my like more prominent heritages, I would say, is Irish. And there is like a whole lore behind like a horse-drawn carriage spirit fairy creature. And like I always think about that story totally made me think of the horseman carriage in Darby O'Gill. And for some reason I can't think of the name of it. It does have a name, but that's like the same idea. That's freaking crazy. Oh my god, like I have goosebumps. You weren't supposed to scare me in this episode.
I think that's one really cool thing about the whole spooky world
Mm-hmm.
is that you can find very similar stories around different cultures. And like, for example, the lady in white.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, she's everywhere.
she's everywhere, and everybody has an idea of a lady in white kind of thing. You know, lady in white here in the United States and Mexico, La Llorona, is
Mhm.
very similar to the idea of the lady in white.
Right.
She has her little different like backstory, but the whole thing's like, you know,
The backstory still seems kind of
yeah,
consistent though,
kind of thing.
honestly.
But the whole day with the horse around carriage kind of thing is like, and you're seeing that, it's like, huh, interesting. But like, it wasn't like I grew up in like some farm town
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. I grew up in like a metropolis, so there was like cars and there was no hard rock carriage in this town, kind of thing. So like, it wasn't like like cowboys and like guys riding horses and like sombreros the whole
Right. It
time.
wasn't like the rural
No, it was
Mexico.
it was just like
More developed.
more developed. It was like cars.
Mm-hmm.
Whatnot. We had a Walmart
Right.
kind of thing. But anyway,
That's crazy.
yeah, it is. So that's a little
Oh my gosh.
spooky. Anyway, transition. How do we transition?
Like, do I share one? I was gonna talk about like my nightmares and the nightmare demon I made up.
Go for it.
Or do I save it for another time?
You already teased them.
I already teased you guys. Okay, so I had these like crazy, insane nightmares. Like they were horrifying. I always akin them to like, you think about if you've ever seen Hellraiser, like very graphic, very terrible. And I'm like, I don't need to watch horror movies. That was one of the other driving reasons for like moving away from horror movies because my dreams every single night were that level of nightmare. Terrible. So I came up like just in my mind slash I'm not sure if I did it while I was dreaming. I forget now. It's been so long, but I came up with the idea of like a dream demon visiting a character, not me specifically. That seemed like bad juju. But I started working on this story of a dream demon. And I even like looked up demons who were in charge of dreams and stuff, who makes a deal with this girl where he'll stop the nightmares from coming in exchange for eating all of her dreams. And then my nightmares stopped happening. And now I just don't remember any dreams I have. And then any dreams I do have, they're really like intense and uncomfortable.
Maybe your demon's full that night.
Yeah, it apparently just like too overwhelming of dreams. Yeah, so that's my like interestingly bizarre spooky story, like in a nutshell. And so with that, we're going to move on to a very fun segment that Eric will include in every episode outside of this unusual format.
So I came with this idea like random one day. I forgot how it came up to be, but I was like, what would be fun? Like a would you rather?
Mhm.
Because there's different things in the spooky community or spooky world,
Mhm.
and like and you never think about them together, like kind of thing. Like you think about like oh, what do you like better, vampires or werewolves, kind of thing. But like like certain other things you don't
Yeah.
think about together. So let's rehash this question.
Yeah, so people don't usually get very adventurous
Yeah, kind
with
of
the
thing.
would you rathers.
Yeah, and like I and it's a fun little content because you can talk about it. You can give like a whole like segment on it and whatnot. And it's like okay, let's go this route.
Right.
So, would you rather
Uh-huh.
be walking in the forest?
Sorry, I'm getting goose. Sorry.
That's the scary part.
No, I know, but I know the question.
Would you rather be walking through a forest
Mhm.
and then realize that for the past let's just say like 30 minutes, hour, it's been silent. You have not heard any single noise, no leaves falling, no trees crackling, not even the footsteps that you stepping on leaves, like making noises. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather be like sitting in a room, like, working on a podcast or like
Right.
working on editing
In your house.
in your house, like, focusing on something and then hearing like a voices here, like, like conversations, like things talking to you. It can be like something like somebody calling your name or
Uh-huh.
like they might go like, "Rrr."
But you're the only person
But
in
you
the
but
house.
you're the only person in the house, no one in the house, you're in the like I mean you like you're wearing your headphones.
Right.
Like, and all of a sudden you hear like somebody calling your name as you're like listening to like something else, like, wait,
Uh-huh.
what was that?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Well, before I said spooky forest, and I'm gonna repeat that answer. I think because when you're walking in a forest, it's just even when you have like the peaceful silence, there's still like all the natural sounds, the trees uh creaking and the leaves crushing.
The breeze moving.
You hear the breeze moving between the
Mm-hmm.
branches. It's very natural and to like just suddenly realize because I feel like that experience it wouldn't come upon you. You just all of a sudden realize it hasn't sounded normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems very unnerving because then it's like you're in the presence of something super foreboding or super ancient.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to deal with the super ancient stuff anymore.
You're old. We lost the
And,
ways.
yeah. Um, versus like who knows, like with all the remote access television, someone could just be trying to trick you. Like honestly, it was very easy to set up a prank like that.
It
I
is.
I don't know. I feel like
Bluetooth is a thing.
well, and in my defense, we live in a household full of people. It's a 8-person household, so there's seven-person
7.
household. It's constantly fluctuating. At one point it was 9. So um it's there's always people coming and going. So you never and people don't always announce when they come in our household. So who knows when someone came in or not.
Yeah.
You kind of just get used to that kind of lifestyle versus like where you know the sounds you should be expecting versus the sounds you're not. You have a certain alertness when you're in a forest because you're just subconsciously listening to for those sounds. So yeah, I'm going with the spooky forest that suddenly goes like deathly silent.
Well, like it's not like something like you realize something like what I
Right.
meant.
Well,
Yeah, but I get what
that's
you're
what I
saying. Yeah.
meant.
Personally, I agree. The silence is eerie. I've experienced complete silence and it feels heavy, kind
Yeah.
of thing. And like it's just like in like it wasn't a situation like the one I gave where I'm like walking somewhere and all of a sudden I realized, hey, I haven't heard a single sound, and like my feet are making noises. Like it wasn't that. It was like I went into a room and it was like there's silence, but there's
You're sneaking in another
and I'm
story.
not. And
Where
that's
did this happen?
later.
Oh
But
my
so yeah, so I like the
god.
dead air,
So double standard here. He gets to tease. I don't.
of course.
That doesn't seem fair.
You gotta get them. You gotta have them one more. But versus
We only made a second drink. I'm like, I'm ready for a third.
I know, right? I'm trying to make this last to the end. But versus like hearing voices, like I've heard voices, like not spooky voices, but I've always heard voices. That, like, oh, hey, did somebody say something? Like, am I
Hmm.
playing hit my thing? Like even today when I was like,
Well, you heard that at Winchester.
well, I heard something at Winchester.
We'll save that for Winchester.
I'll save that for later. But like even today, like when I was doing some cleaning outside, I kept
Oh
hearing
yeah, you kept hearing me.
I kept hearing you going like, hey, calling our children's name, and I was like, I go look around the corner like I'm cleaning, like they're not out here, and I go inside and you're like, having like lunch. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're that loud.
I was like, didn't go outside even once,
No,
like for anything. And he's like, have you been calling me?
no, like I was like calling, it was just like
Or have you been calling our
the kids.
children? Like,
And it's like that's weird.
no.
So, I've heard voices here and there kind of thing,
Hmm.
and I have a lot of stories about that Am I crazy? Maybe. I don't know. Or, making up in my head.
Well, just wait until we get to a story. I feel like I heard sirens for a second
I
there,
know.
sorry. Or maybe we did. Um, I feel like we oh, that's my train of thought.
But yeah, so for me,
Oh
I will
yeah.
agree.
Wait till we get to a story about demons and he gets to share his tale about glowing eyes and stuff.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's later
So
on.
Eric has a lot of fun stories. And fun depending on how you choose to categorize that.
Before I continue, I'm not. I don't think of myself as an empath or medium or spiritual or any of those terms kind of thing. But I've had experiences. You can that was a siren.
Hmm.
That one sounded normal.
Yeah.
Earlier, two of them sounded really weird.
Yeah, they did. That one says.
But I've had experiences that it's been like maybe they're ghosts, maybe they're not. I don't know,
Hmm.
kind of thing and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah. So, how do you? What gives you spooky chills besides horizontal carriage?
What gets our spooky thrills on? Definitely talking about spooky stories, exchanging those spooky stories.
Mm-hmm.
But even just like when we watch a movie, especially a very lore based movie, and I'm not referring to the show or podcast, but just anything that has like mythology or heavily recorded
Like stories kind of thing.
stories about it. We love to have that conversation, and it gets like the spooky going, but like in the right vein. Cause I get really scared, but I do love that sensation at the same time. It's like a weird, bizarre double standard, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What don't you like about the spooky?
Uh
Like things that people find scary that you like? Oh.
totally serial killers. That's a total turn off. True crime. I'm like, I'm out. Not interested at all. I'll see you guys next time. Also alien abductions. So true crime and alien abductions, like, peace. I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
I agree. When it comes to serial killer stories or alien stories, they're not necessarily scary in nature to me. Uh, Not that I have anything against true crime. I think the whole psyche behind it is interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a psychic that I can't wrap my head around. So it's like,
I just don't understand the fascination.
it's like, I get it. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna do this kind of thing, but like, it's like it's not scary to me to like, oh, like and this is nothing against the victims of serial killers kind of thing, you know.
I mean, it's very sad, but I think I don't mean to cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
but like, um, I was talking to someone recently about it, like why I'm not really crazy about serial killers and true crime where it involves a real person is it's like there are no rules that can be applied with a real person. Versus like when you have all the mythical creatures, let's just throw out a werewolf. It's like you can take them down with a silver bullet, or you
Do you have a
don't go
silver bullet?
out on a full moon. It doesn't matter if I have the tools or not. We know that there are certain rules they have to follow and that we can defeat them by. And that's the
It all
majority.
depends on which law you follow
Okay,
now.
I'm blanketing
I
it.
know, yeah, I get it.
Whereas
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
yes, I know this is not the moment to do it. Whereas with a person, they don't have to follow any rules. Like a serial killer, they can choose to let you go or they can choose to escalate to the next level on what they want to do with their serial killings.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to follow any rules. And that's really distressing. And I don't need to be reminded of it because they're always trying to take it to the next level. Versus something supernatural, you might not always know the lore. For example, my favorite, the Fresno Nightcrawler. We don't know really anything more about it. So what are the rules behind it?
Like
But we know they have something, right? It
Yeah.
has to follow something. You don't have that with people. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to
I
serial
don't need to
killers,
be reminded of that.
it's kind of like it's not that like
And it makes it less boring.
less boring or more boring.
It makes it more boring.
More boring. I was like less boring.
Thank you.
I was like,
I'm two zombies and
it's not that I'm like, oh, they're not real, or like, oh, this just so like Baloo or whatever. It's like it just doesn't. It's not something that I get scared of because like
right.
someone like oh, there's a serial killer like I don't know. I'm like, okay. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna start like carrying a knife with me kind of thing. It's like this is what it is. you know there's murders everywhere.
You
Kind
can't
of thing.
prepare for every moment.
And aliens themselves, I think the whole idea of like extraterrestrials is interesting, but I'm not scared of being abducted or seeing like some like light and like, oh, what is that?
Well, yeah, like to date, I can only think of one spooky alien encounter, that story that we've heard, where I was like, oh yeah, that kind of gave me goosebumps.
I can't think of any.
Um, it was a Skinwalker Ranch
Oh,
one.
well, Skinwalker
But it
Ranch.
was just one story because they shared like 3 stories from there.
Skinwalker Ranch is whole hullabaloo of things going on there.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, but yeah,
but yeah,
what definitely gets my
what does get your chill thrills on?
gets my hair stand up the back of my neck and like, ooh, I definitely really enjoy like demonic, like like demonic things. Like not because like the whole like religious aspect of it.
Hmm.
It's just something like like possessions and like just like you know super ghosts and this and that. Black eye kids
Well,
kind of
and
thing.
I think it's a disservice
Mm-hmm.
when people classify like possessions to only like religious
Mm-hmm.
demonic possessions,
Yeah,
and there's so many variations out there.
but like but definitely like ghost stories, like possession, like ghost,
Hmm.
spectral, like demonic, like that kind of category.
Well, because it always ends up hitting them
And
when they're not expecting it.
yeah, and that's like black eyed kids, like you did
Mm.
think about the black cat ghost, like all those kind of things.
Why you gotta do that?
It's got you can throw like different things kind of thing,
Stop.
but like more like non tangible spookies.
Hmm.
That's like the way I would look at it.
Yeah, it's untangible, so it's unknown.
Yeah, 'cause, like you can't really touch it. Like you can touch a werewolf, you can pet a werewolf, and be like, oh, good boy.
Hmm.
you know, but like like a specter or like a ghost or like a possession is like
I do love a good ghost story.
ghost story.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
So, with that, I think it's time to make our last call.
last call.
Yeah, because my glass is empty. I could use one more. How
My
about
glass is
you?
almost empty.
But yeah.
No, man. I think this is a better run, but yeah. Thanks for sipping along with us
Mhm.
on our very first, second
Our
version.
first episode, second take.
There we go. First episode, second take, round 2.
Mhm.
We want to keep those spirits flowing, so please be sure to show us support by reviewing and subscribing to our podcast. Do one, do both, do everything. That's fine.
Let us know. What did you think of this?
If you enjoyed this show, be sure to share with others. Tell people, hey, there's this weird couple talking about spooky stories and drinking. You want to see them or hear them? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Like if somebody told me like, hey, there's a couple like who like they have this cute little banter
Yeah,
or whatever.
it'll get fun. I promise.
They have a banter and they drink and they talk about spooky stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to that
Mhm.
kind of thing. So that
And not just that they drink, but that they want you to drink along with them.
yes, encourage and drinking. Don't drive.
Wink, wink.
Drink responsibly, please.
Right. And if you want to go beyond just subscribing to the podcast on whatever podcasting platform is your preference, or if you're watching us on YouTube, drop us a comment, or visit us on our Instagram, our Twitter, or our Facebook. We have it in all 4 places.
Good to say foreplay.
I didn't mess up this time. I didn't make it dirty, and you did. This isn't fair. Guys, he's Thunder Stealer. You're a Thunder Stealer. Oh my god. Let's not lose that. So, yeah, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Leave us a comment there. We want the interaction. We love the interaction. So let us know what you guys think.
Positive, negative, we'll take it all.
We will take it all and happily and eagerly until we catch you guys in the next episode and really scare your pants off. Either
Hopefully.
with how ridiculous we are or with how spooky the story is. Who knows? Or maybe we'll just totally throw you off loop with the would you rather.
There we go.
Who knows?
Hey, if you want to answer the would you rather's too, go for it. Give
Oh,
us, give
yeah.
us your like intake on those.
Yeah, where are you on the would you rathers? So anyways, we want that. We want to build that community. We want your interaction. So don't feel like you just have to subscribe or you just have to like the episode. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
We actually care about talking with you. We want to make that conversation.
If we ever say something wrong, like not like we pronounce something wrong, or or
Yeah.
or our sources are like that wasn't the right story kind of thing, feel free to let us know. We're learning. You
Mhm.
know, this is not our professional like career kind of thing. This is something we're doing for fun. So we search on the internet something up, and whatever first we find it.
And we're still developing the format.
Yeah.
So I would say, maybe wait on the criticisms because this episode's going to be so different from our other episodes. Like, listen to the next episode after this
Yes.
and let us know what you think. Did you like this more open-ended banter, or you might like the other format? The other format's going to be really interesting, and we did really enjoy listening to it ourselves. So
it was very fun.
we think you guys will enjoy this. It's going to be really fun.
If not, at least we're enjoying it.
Yeah. If anything else, we could just be talking to ourselves and sharing it on the internet. Nobody cares. We don't care because we're having fun,
We're
and
having a
that's
good
what's
time.
important.
Yes.
So yeah.
We hope to catch you around the bar next time.
Yeah, thanks for sipping by with us. I hope you guys poured a drink out while you're listening to this. You had enough time to.
Yes.
We wish we had more in our cups to toast with you, but we'll still cheers. It's bad luck. Maybe it'll bring those spooky spirits around.
There we go.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.